we are in the semifinals of this one-day tournament. Proa, how is this shaking out so far?
Yeah, this has been something, all right. In this 2020 one-shot tournament, for those of you who weren't in Randomania 2, we had not one but two upsets in our quad, as the 2 and 3 seeds fell in rather dramatic fashion. Ibuba and Teeks have both been knocked out by Claris.com and YoBGS. So the bottom half of the bracket has turned into a Cinderella story. Whereas here in our top half of the bracket, it has been roughly as advertised, as the 1 seed, Paradox 64, goes head to head with Glutamic Acid, the 4 seed. So it's been all chalk up here, and we should have a very good match between two very strong players.
Thank you. And we should be off here in just a moment.
Get your predictions in chat for what our first world... Well, too late. So we're leading off with World 6. We got a 4-6 starting point. Not a terrible level to start with. That star is going to make it pretty easy for Paradox there. It's mostly vanilla enemies on top of that.
I know there will not be a the fourth place playoff.
We've got a bridge and a lock up front, but not a whole lot to work with here, so fort is going to be required here to move things along, and we have 6F3 leading off the forts, so quasi-vanilla.
Probably one of those fortresses you don't actually want to see that early.
Yes and no. It can be a little precarious. Glutamic picking up a P-Wing and a Mushroom, so he'll have a little bit more flexibility here in Carpet Fort.
Paradox making it look real smooth, real easy. So is Glutamic Acid, actually.
Yeah, very nice P-speed strats from Glutamic there to set the table. So we're going to have to continue with forward progress here, and we get a pair of Boomerang Bros.
Some of the more, and sometimes this game can have slightly questionable hitboxes. Like there, for example.
Yeah. The round 2 goes smoothly, and he gets his P-Wing, and Glutamic Acid is now in 2 Fort, Desert Fort. Paradox putting that P-Wing to good use right away. Maybe he was gambling that 7F1 was going to show up Fort Knox. Unfortunately, he just lost his Mushroom.
And got a star in return.
Yeah. He'll just speed his way through this.
Does enable him to get through this spike room pretty fast, though.
Mm-hmm. So, fairly standard setup here. Looks like Glutamic's going to have to play Hammer Bro, and gets just regular Hammer Bros. That's good.
Frankly, on a stuff like that, you don't want to see other Hammer Bros, because they can be a bit tricky. Normal Hammer Bros are just fine there.
Yeah. So we have tanks, so they're going to get a free item out of this.
Not surprisingly, it's a star power-up. But what do you want?
Yeah.
Do you want something useful? No. Give a star.
A little careful here. The timing can always get a little finicky. And we got a hammer from that, so that could be useful. The pipes aren't going to help here. There will be 2 at the end, it looks like. There's 4 pipes in World 6, and they all interconnect to one another. So another hammer for Paradox. So he's up a hammer now on glutamic acid. That could be important.
And Paradox is going to take out these Hammer Bros.
Yeah. Which is understandable. There are no end cards this from going forward in the tournament, so it's good to get a stockpile early of valuable items. And glutamic acid's now in one of the 9 loss levels of the game, kind of a 5-3-ish beta with a right-left swing.
Kind of a bit of a mix of 5-3 and 3-9.
A little, yeah. There's a little bit of 3-9 in there. Even a little of what's that level? Yeah, maybe not. But can be surprisingly tricky, that stage, especially if you get a bad enemy set.
Like say nothing but bloopers near the end.
Right. Now, bloopers really can throw the curve on this level because of the lag. So, other hands, we got a
stage, and they're just shrooms today.
Yeah. So.
But
yeah,
even shrooms are really handy.
Well, if used properly, yes. So we have the World 7 airship leading off here. So Glutamic with a slight lead here on Paradox. Paradox is holding an extra hammer, and with some big worlds coming up, 3 comes to mind. If 3 has the right setup, it could be huge for Paradox.
How many hits do we have today? That's 3 so far. 4. 5 hitter.
It's the full Monty, or the full Lemmy, I suppose. Glutamic acid gets the wand at 610.
And we'll be moving into our next world. Get your guesses out in chat, please.
Say 4.
We'll go 3 today.
We go 3. Right.
Game Boy F9 is giving us 7. Also, huge shout out to Game Boy F9 for letting us host this tournament on Randomania.
Hey, I was right. So yeah, thanks to Game Boy and to the Randomania staff for putting on this show. We have super tanks, so there's 2 forts in this world at least.
Yeah, and super tanks, honestly, is much better for me. I prefer seeing super tanks than I prefer seeing normal tanks. Because super tanks can just go by just like that.
Yeah, well, since that whole the Speedrunners edition that Macobra created, we've actually seen some runners developing P-Speed strats for that stage. It's pretty tricky timing, but it can work. So, Glutamic acids took a look at the map, saw that there's no point in going for the pipe, so he's just going to play the 4-4 level, which turns out to be 6-3.
And he's through. You gotta play that other fortress for to get the bridge, though.
Yeah.
You know, I notice a lot of the World 6 levels have a bad habit of being on fire.
Yeah, that's partly because of what the vanilla enemy set is to begin with, so that doesn't help. So Glutamic is going to clear out the Hammer Bros. There's a hammer for glutamic acid.
Which means that's another hammer for Paradox.
So 3 hammers for Paradox, 2 for glutamic acid. And we're not even 10 minutes into this thing. So,
You know, when we turned end cards off, I was expecting less hammers.
well, the seed knows. So we have best fort ever as the second fort in World 4, 8 fort. With a good enemy pattern, gets the 1 cycle with the P switch.
And will we see 2 1 cycles from both runners? I kind of suspect we will.
I don't think he's. Oh, he just
He
gets
did-
in on the block.
You love to see it.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna miss it because of the extra jumps he took, but he pulls it off, and Glutamic pulling off some nice P-speed strats in the World 5 airship.
We have Iggy here.
And his hitbox is as delightful as ever, but he's a vanilla 3-hitter.
The hammers do break locks. The only difference is end cards are removed.
Yeah, end cards have been turned off. Otherwise, it's still straight up. It's still straight tourney flags too. It's a hybrid choice of what we normally run for the bracket stages in our main tournaments, which is no end cards and hammers don't break locks.
Which I'll be honest, these days I find myself more and more partial to.
To turning them off.
Yeah, just turning everything off.
It's a good way to test your skills. Oh boy, Glutamic.
I would not want to be a frog in 5-2.
Yeah, that's not ideal. It was a 15-second difference between the runners after. Okay. Paradox almost doubly screwed himself there. First, he lost Firemar, then he almost had to make the drop of shame.
And you do not want to go into the lower half of 5-2 if you can help it.
It's actually faster to take the 100-coin fine.
Is the bottom path of 5-2 kind of sucks. Okay,
Yes,
it does not kind of suck. It sucks a lot.
Yeah, it's
bad.
Nobody's really developed any actual P-speed strats for that stage, largely because there's really no reason to. Paradox finding his hammer suit and not his hammer suit, his frog suit, and he takes a damage boost and in the pyramid stage, and they're close now. They're actually
seconds of each other.
They're in sync now. Wow.
Oh. Okay, a bit of a hiccup here with the piranha plant. Also the sledge bro, who can sometimes just say no.
Yeah, sometimes he'll jump on you. The regular hammer bro always jumps, so you can just slide under him, no problem. There's a nice Tanuki suit for Paradox and glutamic acid. Paradox with a slight lead here as we go into the World 1 airship, a vanilla World 1 airship, I might add.
Will we just see a normal plain 3-hit Larry?
Nope.
Nope, he's out of here.
We ain't got time for that.
Larry has had enough for today.
So a 6-second difference. It's a 21-second swing on the timer. As Paradox takes a very small lead over glutamic acid here. 3 worlds down. What's next? I say 2.
We'll go 5.
We'll go 5. All right. And it's 7.
We're both wrong.
With a lock up front, buddy.
I think we're not. I don't think we're breaking that lock.
That's a reasonable assumption, yes. And at this point, you're better off riding the line here. Okay, that's no good. Nothing there. There's potential here, but they want to maximize this as much as they can.
And with all these pipes to check, you don't really want at least one fort required.
Okay, so this is tricky. This is tricky here because there's a fort down there in vanilla location. However, it's not a guarantee that that is the correct answer.
We have to at least play one stage up on the north middle island because we need one of those pipes.
Right. So here's the gamble: do you go for this and skip that fort, or do you hope that it is the one on the eastern island? So
It looks like our runners are gambling on it being the one on the eastern island.
yeah, Glutamic, I think he's getting a little lost here, or he's getting his pipes mixed up. He's taking an unnecessary dip there. And Paradox is proceeding as anticipated. He got the 1.5 beta.
Glutamic acid has finally found his way to the 1.5 beta. He's going to play it and get through. Had to check these pipes. One of these leads to that eastern island.
I think both of them do, actually.
Kind of have to at this point.
Yeah. So, and here's Piranha Fort.
And it's vanilla location.
No less. Ooh. Paradox losing out on Tanuki's suit. Ooh, just missed the clean pole vault jump there.
Since Paradox and Glutamic Acid are both doing this stage, Paradox loses very little to no time for since they're both taking the same action.
Yeah, unfortunately, Glutamic Acid just took a death there, so that really hurts. So now...
It's the bridge. It's the bridge.
Okay, so Eastern Island is validated, and he will go for the item here. Glutamic Acid's getting pounded by the enemies here in 7F2. And the cloud. All right. We got a couple of those, too.
And we're entering... This looks like the World 2 airship. Oh, wait, World 3.
Yeah.
World 3.
World 3, yeah. So... But...
It's just I get them mixed up every now and then.
Yeah, happens to the best of us. So we got Ludwig now, and he's a bouncy Ludwig. And he's a one-hit Ludwig.
Ludwig showed you his hops and then went to the moon.
Yeah, Glutamic Acid actually already used his cloud to put that piranha the other piranha to sleep, but he'll be happy that he had to make this little detour. All right, I'm gonna say world. I'll go 5 this time.
I'm continuing on with 3. Come on, 3.
Come on, 3. It's world 2. We're both wrong. And ooh, we got a vanilla setup here with the level layout right off the bat. So we got 3 levels before we get to a pipe. Glutamic Acid is going to take care of Ludwig. He's about a minute behind at 18 flat there. Now this is you can do this with the tail as Paradox just did, but it's sub-pixel perfect, so you have to be right on the money.
He eventually got it, and he's through.
Yes, he did. So, and just as a reminder, after this, we will have the finals of this one-shot tournament. The winner of this match will play the winner of Claris.com and YoBGS. Okay, yeah, he makes the correct choice there. He's burning through everything he's got, all of his munitions. So now he's and first try by glutamic acid on the 7.6 clip. So he gains a little time there because it took about 10 or 11 tries for Paradox. Paradox has with the raccoon tail makes a run for the item and gets a P-wing.
That's actually a pretty good trade-in for all he spent getting here.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think he would have liked to get one of his hammer back, but glutamic acid just a little short on the H jump.
That's a little H. We may see the big H here in a moment.
Maybe. So we're in the World 6 airship. Glutamic acid did not use his clouds. He is now in 3.9. He just finished that.
Honestly, 3.9 is not that bad of a level, but sometimes you don't want to see it, particularly if it's filled to the brim with Paragoombas.
Yeah. So glutamic acid kind of taking stock here of his situation. He's going to make the same play as likely as Paradox did. He's got one hammer left, and there it is. And he is going to use his cloud on the fort, on one fort, kind of waiting this out.
Waiting for the Sledge Rose to let him move.
Yeah. So last chance on the prediction. We've got 3 and 5 still in play. Ooh, a coin, and he generates a coin ship just because. And it is 5. This.
We have a real interesting layout for 5 here.
Yeah, this is a little odd. This 4-3 and the fort are obviously required. From there, though, I'm not really sure. I'm not even 100% sure that fort will actually create the bridge. If it's a 3-fort world 5, it's possible. It could be otherwise. Because we got the tower below the fort. So a 1 minute 4 second difference between our runners through 5 worlds, a 21:02 for glutamic acid. So this is going to be interesting. See how this plays out.
You know, we had the chance that this will just break a lock elsewhere, and we have to play through the tower.
Yeah, the tower stage.
Except the tower can't go to the other island, so that would have been funny though.
Right. Yeah, that would be pretty weird. But so Air Force is the first fort. Oh, glutamic acid taking a death there in 4-3. That is unfortunate. That's another minor setback for him.
Paradox is taking down the Air Force Boom Boom. They did build a bridge.
Okay, so this is a free check then for glutamic acid missed his peace speed, and there it is.
There is the end of World 5 with the World 2 airship.
Yeah. So a couple of unfortunate deaths here in 4-3 have put Paradox firmly in control here with this World 3 remaining. He can't do the double hammer unless he gets one from the Princess here.
But that is always a pretty good chance. Yeah. It's as good a chance as any other. Hello, hitboxes. Goodbye, Roy.
Yeah. It's a 5-hit Roy on top of that, and Paradox gets out of there. 22:54.
And we'll be entering World 3 here in just a moment. Oh, wait, no. Get your guesses on the chat for where the next world is. I predict 3.
Yeah, I wonder.
We have a cat on. We have a cat on keyboard.
Tanuki suit for Oh, and 7-1.
I predict we're going to see a 100 coin fine here.
I think so, yes. Oh, he's going to do a frog jump. That's interesting. He can do it, but it's about as tight as doing it with a tail. So, but 5 jumps.
Oh, that's amusing to me.
Some froggy swag. Gotta love it.
Where's Human Mustard? He'd love this.
He's in chat, or he was. I don't know if he's still here.
And we have a hand stage with fish. Paradox is going to take a bonk on the noggin just to get out of the frog suit.
Yeah, you don't want to be messing with frog jumps in this stage if you can help it. So yeah, it takes the damage boost, and glutamic acid is out at 24:30. He's a minute and a half behind at this stage, and he really needs an unforced error by Paradox at this point to get back into this. Fortunately, he can't even use like with that extra hammer Paradox has that could come in handy here in World 3, because one of those 4 pipes on the map ends up being the answer. He is going to be in really good shape.
Because he could just because there's always a lock in front of Wendy.
All right, okay, so we've got the answer. So there's 2 forts and a bridge and a lock. So one of these 4 pipes, one of these. Did he check all of? Did he?
I don't think he did.
No. I think he's gambling that it has to be this. I don't think that's the correct play. I certainly should have checked all of them just to be safe. But odds are it will be the answer, but would take another 10 seconds to check. At the very least, Paradox does look fabulous in that Tanuki suit.
Three strikes for Boom Boom. Good night, Boom Boom.
Yeah.
Just keep playing fortresses.
5F2 now, so
Don't stop moving.
keep riding the line. And okay, I think that was all the pipes.
That was all the pipes.
Yeah.
Glutamic acid is not checking the other pipes. He's just going for the fortresses.
Which I guess makes sense, but yeah.
You never know when you're going to have that really good World 3.
Well, saw a seed recently where it was God Pipe, but unfortunately they didn't have hammers. There's a lock in front. And yep, in the corner. So World 4 airship with P-speed strats. It was a treat to see.
I've got to learn how to do this because this just always looks so good.
It's an interesting bit of timing, but it's actually not that hard. Once you kind of get a feel for it, it really does work quite well. And a 5-hit thick Wendy, yeesh.
And she's out of here. Honestly, I don't mind heavy Wendy compared to normal Wendy, because it's much easier to time to hit, so she's not like throwing reins all over the place.
Right, it's a little easier with the timing, but in an arena like World 4, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because if you don't hit her in the right spot, it can get really ugly really fast. That's actually why I prefer to have her on the higher ground, because it's a little easier for me to time and not have to worry about her bouncing up and down, because that throws my timing.
But now we're entering into World 8, and it looks like we have a fortress to start us off.
2 of them, in fact.
It's Bridgeport.
Yeah, so 5F1 and in super tanks, and the Navy is up above, so he'll probably do both of them because why not?
Because you don't really want to come back to this turn. There's only one pipe, so
So yeah, it's a combination of that and okay. Let's see how glutamic acid handles Wendy here. Okay.
took one hit. I think
Yeah.
he's got this.
Yeah, very clean fight from glutamic acid at 29:04, so he's a little over a minute behind. As we now come to 3F1 door 6 fort, and Paradox, retaining his P speed, barrels through the stage.
These are not the settings you really want to go for door 3.
No. So there will not be a sub 30 seed today off of this one. That's unfortunate. We've got a lot of pipes and
2 stages we don't have to bother with.
right. So there's a lock. He's got a hammer. He's going to use it. That's I'm okay with that play.
And what do we have here? More pipes.
Well,
Welcome to World 8, everyone.
Yeah, nothing else. And oh, he got it.
Oh, he's in there.
The extra hammer pays off, and he is on his way to the finals of this one-shot tournament. Unless he dies like 16 times.
But can happen.
Well, actually, he couldn't even die 16 times. He's only got 9 lives.
I mean, there's always that free life in here.
So yeah, glutamic acid, because he doesn't have that extra hammer, he's got to go around. Oh, and well, little swag there from Paradox.
I suspect he has this.
I suspect so as well. 7-2 is the hand stage. 35 fireballs to Bowser's noggin.
Yeah, I've seen some really tight kills with the fire flower here. They just look so good. And it looks like
it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's too little too late, as Paradox 64 has crossed the threshold and is in with an official SRL time of 31:25. Outstanding time by Paradox 64, and he will be going on to the finals of this one-shot tournament, where he will face the winner of Claris.com or YoBGS. A lot of fireballs there up front. He's through, but
and he should be. Bowser should be on his way into the pit here in a moment.
Yeah. So, I guess the one thing I'm thinking of upon reflection here is unforced deaths for glutamic acid. Those deaths in 4-3 really hurt. I mean, it was pretty close most of the way through, but he had a death there. He had a death in 7F2, so he had 3 unfortunate deaths. And while that wasn't the whole reason, that really does set him back a bit. So get out your GGs for glutamic acid, who puts up a valiant fight here, but falls short with an official SRL time of 32:53. So GGs to glutamic acid.
GG's. We'll see if he wants to come in. Glutamic Acid will be joining us for a post-race interview.
Yeah. Looking at the Randomania 2 channel real quick here, see how that one is going, and looks like BGS is holding a bit of a lead here, but it also looks like it's a much longer seed than what Paradox and Glutamic Acid went through, because they're at the 28-minute mark. They're still in World 6, or the 6th of 8 worlds, and yeah, so they have to work for it a little bit here. But BGS with the lead right now. We will find out who the opponent is in about 10 to 15 minutes.
And we're joined by Glutamic Acid in the booth. GG's Glutamic.
Hey guys, GG.
You know, it was that was a speedy race between you two. It was really really entertaining from start to finish.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nice change to have a kind of faster, at least a faster World 8 compared to what I think we've had so far today. But
Yeah,
I don't think there was anything like super. We've avoided, I think, almost all the really tricky stages.
yeah. By
Apart from
and large,
3.
yeah. By and large, yeah. There wasn't anything like too brutal as opposed to some of the other stages. Yeah, the two things that kind of struck me as like the key moments was Paradox actually picked up an extra hammer in World 6. He played the coin ship. That gave him an extra hammer.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, where did he use the extra hammer?
In World 8, in that lock in the corner, and he took that pipe straight to the vanilla location, and it dumped him right in front of the bridge.
Okay, yeah.
So, and he actually played you actually skipped Navy, and he actually played that. It was 3F1, but yeah, 5F1 was the gatekeeper.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just had a feeling I was kind of behind, so I just decided, well, if I don't have to play anything, I'll just take a risk and just see where it goes.
Yeah, it never got more than about a minute and a half or so. The other thing that kind of separated you two were some unfortunate deaths for you. The 2 and 4-3, and then Piranha Fort.
Yeah, I think like the 2 and 4-3 were pretty amateurish. Especially the second one.
Yeah, it's like,
I wasn't sure whether to speed trap it or not, and in the end, I just jumped into the pit.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it was just like an unfortunate like over jump, and by the time you realized it was too late to course correct, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think knowing against someone like Paradox, I think if you can maybe you can get away with one such death in a seed, but if you have like 2 or 3, it's
Yeah,
you need a lot of luck.
yeah. His consistency is usually on point, and yeah, I know. Like and I think he's a little rusty. I think in the first round, Matt, where he wasn't even playing anybody, but he was still a little rusty, and it was a really long seed. But whatever happened there, I think he's figured it out at this point.
Yeah, I think maybe I don't know, maybe a little bit of a break helps a bit sometimes.
But no, it was a very good race, and you led early, and then it was like neck and neck for a while, and then yeah, but it was always within range, and it's like one thing here or one thing there, like it could have easily swung.
Yeah, I think you just got to kind of hope for it.
Yeah, but congrats on getting into the semifinals of the one shot. Some fine competition you played to get here, Johnny Link and Dust Minion, a couple of tough outs.
Yeah, those are both like really, really close games.
Yeah.
Especially the second one. I'm looking forward to watching that back. I think there was only like 10 seconds between us or something.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I saw the other half. I was watching the other one when it was going on. It's like, wow. But yeah, we've had a lot of drama and surprises so far in this one shot. We got really 2 matches to go. We got Claris and BGS finishing up, and then the finals.
Yeah, I'm going to look forward to kind of sitting back and watching them. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Anything else to add, Starman?
Nope, I think we're good to.
It's so, I just tuned into RM2, and BGS is on the final airship in World 7, which is actually World 4 today. Claris is about a couple of stages behind, and he just accidentally gave himself a 5-up. Whoops.
Yeah.
BGS does not get the. But yeah, we'll be taking a break over here. We'll be back with the finals as soon as a little bit after the other RM2 wraps up.
Yeah, and then I have the finals here for you, and it should be a great match. However it turns out. So GG's once again, give our runners a follow if you haven't already, and we'll see you all in about 20-30 minutes.